How on earth could Rimmer become Ace Rimmer? Greetings fellow dwarfers, today just a really quick, simple little kind of question, kind of thought, kind of a theory. How on earth could the Series 7 Rimmer, the idiot Rimmer, the chronically inept Rimmer, manage to go off and become Ace Rimmer? Let's dive in and have a look. Now to recap, in the Series 7 episode Stoke Me a Clipper, the ultra charming interdimensional hero Ace Rimmer arrives in the familiar Red Dwarf dimension, but he's only got a limited time left to live. Needing to recruit his replacement and with no alternative, it's the chronically cowadous, perpetually pathetic and intolerably idiotic Rimmer BSc SSC that he has to recruit. So after just one brief lesson and one brief staged fight, Rimmer is sent off on his own in the wildfire to go be a hero interdimensionally. So with so little preparation and such a low starting point, how on earth could this pathetic excuse for a man ever hope to take up the mantle of Ace Rimmer and live up to his counterpart? It certainly seems unlikely that our Rimmer could ever overcome his inner coward, stretch beyond his little finger's worth of charisma, or possess more than a pubic louse's worth of charm. Well, I've often wondered on this one, and I kind of just figured maybe he was a no-hoper and he was useless as Ace, and perhaps he was the last Ace Rimmer and kind of killed the line off with him. At least, that's what I was thinking until very recently, when I was invited to be on the Everybody is Dead Dave podcast with Phil and Adam. And during our conversations, something came up which might change my entire view on Rimmer being Ace. We were discussing the well-known luck and sexual magnetism viruses, first seen in the episode Quarantine from Series 5, and later seen in the three-parter Back in the Red from Series 8. Now, while it's the luck virus and the sexual magnetism that are the famous ones, there are two more that we never saw used: inspiration and charisma. They were there in the Quarantine episode when they found all the viruses, but they didn't seem to be there in the Series 8 episode. And it was Phil that kind of came up with the question, the thought, hey, maybe the original Rimmer took inspiration and charisma when he went off to be Ace. At the time I said that Phil might have struck gold, this might be a great idea, and the more I thought about it, the more I think, yeah, this could be a brilliant way of explaining things. You see, inspirational and charismatic are certainly two words I would use to describe the proper version of Ace Rimmer. So, if the idiot version of Rimmer had the foresight to grab the two vials on his way out to be Ace, and then if he gave himself a suitably large dose, that might be enough to make the difference and make him into a great version of Ace Rimmer. When you think about it, he wouldn't necessarily need like the sexual magnetism virus, because the charisma would give him, well, the charisma, the charm, to kind of pull women naturally without the need for the dodgy sexual magnetism virus. And the inspiration virus could inspire him with great ideas that he could use when he's in a jam or when he's facing an opponent, give him great ideas to get out of difficult situations, inspire him? Perhaps so. Of course, there is one big, obvious stumbling block for this theory. Rimmer is a hologram. So would these viruses even sort of go into Rimmer? Would they have any effect? Fair enough, that could be a big stumbling block. However, we've got to remember, these viruses came from Professor Landstrom, who was a hologram. So I think it's quite conceivable that she would make these viruses so that they're compatible with herself. That's my take on it anyway. Okay, so I don't have much supporting evidence for this, although it would explain why, if Rimmer took these in Series 7, it would explain why they weren't in the Crash Starbug in Series 8. It would explain why they're gone. Plus, if it eventually wore off, or if he ran out of all the stuff, Rimmer would start to revert back to his old idiot self, and I think quite possibly, or quite probably, he'd come back to join the crew, which would explain why, from Back to Earth onwards, we've got a hard light hologram back on Red Dwarf. Just a thought. So guys, what do you think on this one? It's more of a fun one than a proper hardcore theory, but I think this could explain a lot about how Rimmer, the idiot Rimmer from Series 7, could become Ace. I think this one might work. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and if you've got a better explanation, let me know. Perhaps you just think he was the last of the aces and just sort of killed off the line. Yeah, that's a possibility. But guys, let me know what you think down below. If you've enjoyed this one, I'd love it if you could give us a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you've not done so already, because I've got more theories like this coming out all the time. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time, Smegheads.